Hello, welcome to part 1 of making a twist Damascus woolly mammoth ivory zirconium handled Kyoto. So the plan for this knife is to make a twist Damascus blade with 3 alloys. That means we're going to be having a black, gray, white contrast as opposed to a black-white contrast. After that, we're going to make a frame handle out of zirconium. That's going to be right here. And the frame handle will be filled with mammoth ivory. But for this video, we're going to be focusing on the twist Damascus blade. Here's our 3 steels. We got our 2419, our 2510, and our 2710. So let me light up the forge, and while that's heating up, I'll weld up this billet. Now we have 18 layers of steel in the forge. We're going to forge that out into a long bar and restack it. Hopefully to get around 180 layers, maybe 10 restacks, that would be a nice number. After that, we're going to forge it out again and then twist it. So about 9 months ago, I get a message from this guy. Let's call him John. John tells me he really likes my work, and he asks me, how long is the list on your customs? I tell him about 6 months. John is straight to the point, and he asks me, what do you need for me to get on your custom list? I tell him he can register on my website, and he did. He says, on it, let's make something cool. We discussed for a long time on what knife we should make for him. He asked me if I had any ideas, and we came to this frame handle construction. I had done one earlier with a bronze handle, but this one needed to be special. After a lot more discussing, we came to a zirconium handle with a twist Damascus blade. John also really wanted mammoth ivory in the handle. That's where we skip about 8 months into the future, where I tell him I'm ready to get started. I tell him, John, this custom is going to be 2,100 euros. He replies to me with, okay. He paid for a deposit, and that's where we are today, ready to get started on his custom order. One thing John also really wanted in his knife was a really nice dark edge. The reason why I chose for the multi-alloy Damascus is because you get one more steel layer that is not bright. Whereas with normal Damascus you would have 1-to-1 bright and dark steels, here we have 2-to-1. 2 dark steels, 1 bright steel. This will give the knife in the end a darker edge because there's more dark materials. Oh. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but that's like busted open. As you saw, the billet kind of just split open. That was because I was twisting it the wrong way around the second time, which is dumb, but it shouldn't happen. So, but the thing is with these tungsten alloyed steels is that they do not like forge welding at all. Usually you have to weld them shut. I thought I could do it, guess I didn't. I'm gonna make a new billet. This time with 5 alloys. It's gonna be a little smaller billet, but with O2, 75 NE8, and then the other 3 that we used previously. The O2 and the 75 NE8 are a little lower alloy steels, so they are easy to forge weld, and I hope that having them in the mix will maybe make it stick a little better. I'm gonna weld all the seams shut as well. And stuff doesn't always work out, but it's important to show you guys, because I'm not perfect either. Not bad, not bad. Here I'm using a technique called fusion welding, where you use the TIG torch without any filler material. It basically melts all the steel together without any contamination of other alloys. This way we get an airtight seal for all the forge welds without running the risk of having any other alloys in our steel. Let's hope this works this time. We twisted her up. We're gonna close up these cracks. Or well, they're not cracks, but they could be cold shuts. So we flex them up. No fucking way. My fucking billet just flew directly into the water tank here. Wait. The fucking billet flew from the power hammer right in the not the quench tank, just the water tank. Anyways, I threw it back in the forge. Let's move that to the side a bit. I feel like this billet just has suicidal tendencies. Wow. So our billet is now closed up. What I'm gonna do is grind in some fullers. And we don't have a lot of material, but this is pretty much 1 blade's worth of twist Damascus, I'd say. I'm gonna grind 2 fullers right in the length, and this is gonna distort the pattern a little. So there's a little fuller. Fuller is ground. That's hot. Yeah, it's a pretty cool pattern. This is the second thermal cycle. Let's get her back in and anneal her. We got that ground up. I'm now going to weld on a Tang. This is just 10 mil bar stock with a point ground on. We have a Tang welded up. Now we have a ton of blade material thickness. I want to do a little more pattern manipulation just to get just that tad bit more organic look. So I'm gonna heat it up again and take a ball peen to it. Just gently tapping in some dents. And now for the quench. Usually cracking isn't really a big risk on a blade like this because it's got a really thick spine, really thick edge, and we're doing an oil quench. Not much to worry about. I got most of the scale ground off. Now time for test etch. The tube filled with ferric chloride. Very curious. Ooh, I really like that. That's really good. That is really cool. That's some kind of 3D effect with all the 5 alloys. Pretty much all the bevels are ground now. The taper is nicely ground in. I'll do one more pattern check just to make sure everything's looking nice, because this pattern can change a lot during grinding, especially with twists. When you grind into the steel, it can tend to change the pattern. This is at a 60 grit belt now. I'm gonna do a little refining and then work on the bolster areas at 80 grit, get the whole blade up to 80 grit, etc. Move up to 600 grit so this blade is ready to be finished. And then we're gonna work on the bolsters themselves. And after that, we're gonna start working on the handle, which is for video number 2. This is where the pattern is at right now. Look at that. So that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching. We've got our blade finished up to 600 grit, looking fabulous. In the next video, we're going to be forging the zirconium handle and fingering up to the blade and then getting the mammoth inlay in there. I'm really looking forward to that, and I thank you for watching. See you in the next video.